I sit and sew. A useless task, it seems. My hands grown tired, my head weighed down with dreams, the panoply of war, the martial tread of men, grim-faced, stern-eyed, gazing beyond the ken of lesser souls, whose eyes have not seen death, nor learned to hold their lives as a breath. But I must sit and sew. I sit and sew. My heart aches with desire, that pageant terrible, that fiercely pouring fire on wasted fields, and writhing grotesque things once men. My soul in pity flings appealing cries, yearning only to go there in that holocaust of hell, those fields of woe, but I must sit and sew. The little useless seam, the idle patch, why dream I here beneath my homely thatch when there they lie in sodden mud and rain, pitifully calling me, the quick ones and the slain? You need me, Christ! It is no roseate dream that beckons me. This pretty, futile seam, it stifles me. God, why must I sit and sew? Come with me, if you will, upstairs. If you listen very carefully, you can just hear the distant sounds of the greater spotted Grizzly Gary, my unbelievably talkative brother. Grizzly Gary is doing a building course at the technical college, training to be a bucket. Oh, here we go. I'll just have a quick word with him. Cover your ears. Hello, Grizzly. It's your loving sister, Lucy. Just come to tell you I've been picked for the school swimming team. Thought you'd like to know. Bye, Grizzly. I enjoyed that chat. This is my room. No one's allowed in here except me. I'm a very tidy sort of person, which is extraordinary in this house. I think I must be a freak. I actually like to know where I've put things. This is my bed. That's my desk. And, oh, up there on the shelf, those are my special, most favorite books. Actually, one of the reasons I keep it so tidy is because my very, very best friend Zara also likes things tidy. Oh, yes, I had to explain about Zara. You may have heard my mom talking about my invisible friend. Do you remember? Oh, well, that's Zara, my invisible friend. This is Zara. I want you to meet Zara. Zara, say hello. That's it. Will you say hello to Zara, my invisible friend? I invented Zara, years ago, when I was 7 or 8. I think I was ill at the time and couldn't play with any of my real friends, so I made up Zara. She's my special friend that no one can see except me. Of course, I can't see her either. Although, sometimes it's almost like it's as if I could see her sometimes. Like, if I concentrate very hard, it's like I can just glimpse her out of the corner of my eye. Still. Anyway, I've kept Zara for years and years now, until they all started saying I was much too old for that sort of thing and started getting worried and talking about sending for a doctor. So I didn't bring her around with me quite so much after that. But she's still here. And when I feel really sad and depressed like I do today, I sit and I talk to Zara. Zara always understands. Zara always listens. She's special, aren't you, Zara? What's that? Yes, I wish Gary would turn his music down too. I've asked him, haven't I?
How can I hear it if I turn it down? I can't hear the bass then, can I?
I used to have pictures up in here, but every time you put on a disc, they fell off the walls. Zara, did I tell you I've been picked for the school swimming team? Isn't that exciting? Yes, thank you. I'm glad you're excited too. Good. If anyone is interested at all, I was picked for the school swimming team today. What about that, folks? Thanks for your support, everyone. They might at least. They could have at least. Oh, Zara, I know you're always here, but sometimes I get so lonely. It was black in the closet as old blood. They had shoved me in and locked the door. I breathed heavily through my nose, fighting desperately to remain calm. I tried counting to 10 on every intake of breath, and to 8 as I released each one slowly into the darkness. Luckily for me, they had pulled the gag so tightly into my open mouth that my nostrils were left unobstructed, and I was able to draw in one slow lungful after another of the stale, musty air. I tried hooking my fingernails under the silk scarf that bound my hands behind my back, but since I always bit them to the quick, there was nothing to catch. Jolly good luck then that I had remembered to put my fingertips together, using them as 10 firm little bases to press my palms apart as they had pulled the knots tight. Now I rotated my wrists, squeezing them together until I felt a bit of slack. Using my thumb to work the knots down until they were between my palms, then between my fingers. If they had been bright enough to think of tying my thumbs together, they should never have escaped. What utter morons they were. With my hands free at last, I made short work of the gag. Now for the door. But first, to be sure they were not lying in wait for me, I squatted and peered through the keyhole at the attic. Thank heavens they had taken the key away with them. There was no one in sight, save for its perpetual tangle of shadows, junk, and sad bric-a-brac. The long attic was empty. The coast was clear. Reaching above my head to the back of the closet, I unscrewed one of the wire coat hooks from its mounting board. By sticking its curved wing into the keyhole and levering the other end, I was able to form an L-shaped hook which I poked into the depths of the ancient lock. A bit of judicious fishing and fiddling yielded a gratifying click. It was almost too easy. The door swung open and I was free. I skipped down the broad stone staircase into the hall, pausing at the door of the dining room just long enough to toss my pigtails back over my shoulder and into their regulation position. Father still insisted on dinner being served as the clock struck the hour, and served at the massive oak refectory table, just as it had been when Mother was alive.
Ophelia and Daphne not down yet, Flavia? He asked peevishly, looking up from the latest issue of
The British Philatelist, which lay open beside his meat and potatoes. I haven't seen them in ages, I said. It was true. I hadn't seen them. Not since they had gagged and blindfolded me and tossed me hog-tied up the attic stairs into the closet. Father glared at me for the statutory 4 seconds over his spectacles, before he went back to mumbling over his sticky treasures. I shot him a broad smile, a smile wide enough to present him with a good view of the wire braces that caged my teeth. Although they gave me the look of a dirigible with the skin off, Father always liked being reminded that he was getting his money's worth. But today, he was too preoccupied to notice. I hoisted the lid off the spode vegetable dish and, from the depths of its hand-painted butterflies and raspberries, spooned out a generous helping of peas. Using my knife as a ruler and my fork as a prod, I marshaled the peas so that they formed meticulous rows and columns across my plate, rank upon rank of little green spheres, spaced with a precision that would have delighted the heart of the most exacting Swiss watchmaker. Then, beginning at the bottom left, I speared the first pea with my fork and ate it. It was all Ophelia's fault. She was, after all, 17, and therefore expected to possess at least a modicum of the maturity she should come into as an adult. Though she should gang up with Daphne, who was 13, simply wasn't fair. Their combined ages totaled 30 years. 30 years! Against my 11! It was not only unsporting, it was downright rotten. And it simply screamed out for revenge.